Okay, so been watching some videos and reading some threads and experimenting a little bit finally tonight. Um, kind of started with Buck and Billy talking about baby C, and then some of my experimenting with that came out looking almost like square chain. And then a guy on a forum said he was trying to get square angles with round files. And then I was reading about the whole 10-degree down on the file handle thing, and I actually had a little bit better example of this, and then I filed on it more and kind of messed it up. But this is 404 because it's easier to see and work with. But what I did is I started with a 1/4 inch 404 file with a 10-degree down angle and 25-degree top plate. I'm trying to keep the top plate angle as minimal as possible, like square is. So 10-degree down angle, and what that 10-degree down does is it makes this angle right here inside the bottom of the top plate more aggressive here on the outside closer to the camera, and it makes the hook less aggressive and more vertical here over here on the other side. And a little more top plate angle magnifies that. If you bring the file back this way, it makes this inside angle sharper. But I'm trying to keep from putting too much top plate angle in it, because that makes the chain want to pull to that side, and then of course the next cutter wants to pull to this side. So 10 degrees down with a 1/4 inch file for 404. And then what I did is I came and chased it, kind of like Buckin's chip dump chain with 5/32. I don't have an 1/8 file. Smaller file would actually be better. So then I took this 1/8 file, or excuse me, 5/32. Probably see it right there. Yep. And I ran it through here, kind of like so. It's hard with, it'd be better with a smaller, skinnier file and bigger, fresher cutter. But I ran it through here, and what that did, if you gotta be careful with the angles, what that did was open up this inside cutter, inside the top plate more aggressive angle there, more like square. And it also made the side cutter right here sharper. You can see the distance from the very leading edge to the back of the cut is wider than if you had, basically makes it as if we had a more aggressive top plate angle, but actually the top plate is more back at this angle. And we kept the side cutter more vertical, more like square. Now, obviously I haven't done a whole chain like this. I'd like to figure out a way. Got some ideas to duplicate this on a round grinder, but if it works out, we might be pretty close to making something similar to square with round files or round grinder. You can kind of see the limitation, though, is going to be that we're using round files, and I think the advantage to square is that the side cutter is cutting the chip off, the top plate is grabbing the chip, and the corner is cleaned out right through here when you square grind or square file. And so there's no extra meat in here blocking chip flow or chip cutting or chip action. The nice thing about square is that you don't have a delicate little point out here like you do on full chisel that gets bent and dulled easily. We kind of have that advantage here, maybe even a little bit more. This might stay sharp pretty well because the corners, or keep itself feed well because the corner's pretty well supported. But we gotta kind of not too much top plate angle and not too much side plate angle, but at the same time good chip flow through here, hopefully, theoretically. And anyway, like I said, I'll try to actually get it where I can do a whole chain with a grinder or something, and maybe do a little profiling on the wheel. I think that using a flat, or using a a round ground wheel and then profiling the end of it flat might just give us this more vertical side plate so that the radius of the wheel doesn't break through the side plate, and maybe we'll end up with almost square with round stuff.